Good afternoon, folks. Welcome on this Saturday afternoon with our first stream of Plague Inc. Evolved, which is the Plague Inc. on mobile, but on Steam, which adds the Evolve at the end. I've not played this game before, so for me it's a first look at this, and I actually quite enjoyed the intro to the game, the intro video, which I don't know if it will trigger again. So I'm gonna exit the game, restart it, which plays the intro video before the menu, because it is awesome. Just to give everyone the context of the video, like what we are trying to do. And while that's loading and playing, I will be making sure my sound is fine.
Commencing Autopsy 3. Time, 2104. 27-year-old female infected with unknown pathogen. Blood analysis indicates virus. Provisional name is PAX-12. Deceased had traveled in China before returning home 2 weeks ago. That must have been pre-quarantine. Unknown if had contact with livestock, but I can definitely see evidence of insect bites. Deceased had reported coughing and sneezing with a high fever. I'm seeing a nasty rash, some abscesses around the abdominal cavity. Clear signs of immune suppression. Cause of death appears to be catastrophic organ failure. Findings match reports coming out of China. This is highly concerning. The deceased may still be infectious. I'm halting the autopsy in order to notify the authorities. Request a full lockdown of this facility, effective immediately.
That is awesome! I actually only now heard that the ashes to ashes will turn to dust is actually a children's rhyme from the Black Death plague period in Europe. Because the smell, there was like the smell of pansies, which is like flowers that they strewn around plague or infected houses to warn other people to stay away, essentially. Ashes to ashes, we all fall down because you got the plague and you're dying. So we are, compared to our 2-point hospital playthrough, we are now on the other side of the health bar. So let's check this out. That's main game. Core Plague in Can You Infect the World? Official scenarios. Experiment with real life diseases in altered worlds. Custom scenarios. Speedrun. Compete with your friends to see who can wipe out humanity the fastest. Start an easy difficulty level game that has some guidance on how to play. Let's try this. Maximum of 20 characters. PAX 12 or PAX 1. Are you ready to infect the world? In this tutorial, we'll learn the basics of Plague Inc. and infect the world together. Think of it as an infectious disease school. Population 7.1 billion world. First, you need to choose where your disease will begin. Start in China. Click it to select. Now pop the bubble to infect patient 0 and start the game. The plague has been unleashed. Below you can see how many people are infected with your disease. 1. Okay. Now scroll with that. Click and drag. 2 people infected. Red bubbles appear when you infect a new country. Pop the bubble to get some DNA points. DNA points are very important. You can spend them to evolve your disease and make it stronger. Next. You'll get more DNA as you infect and kill people across the world. 20 disease points, I think. 2 infected, 0 dead. You also get DNA by popping orange bubbles when they appear. Pop the bubble now. Nice. See how many DNA points you have. 23. Budget airline. Plan to remove 3 people. You can change the game speed. Here are your time controls. Game is currently paused. Click play or press Alpha 1. Time paused. Alpha 1. Click fast forward or press Alpha 2. Alpha numeric 2. So number 2 key. Speed up the game. 22 infected. And click faster forward. Press Alpha 3 to speed up some more. 33, 37, 40. Okay, it's time to evolve your plague to make it stronger and help it spread. Click here or press Q to open the disease menu. This is the disease menu. Here you can evolve new traits to make your disease stronger. Infectivity. Severity. Start date 18/1/2020. Plague type tutorial. Start location difficulty casual. The complexity, DNA, daily infections, daily deaths, average infections, average death. This is the disease menu. Here you can evolve new traits to make your disease stronger. Your plague needs to spread faster. Let's get to the transmission tab. Cost DNA points to evolve your disease. Let's start by getting a livestock transmission. Click livestock 1. It will cost 7 DNA. Click here to evolve it. You can also double click the livestock. Nice. Your infectivity has increased. That should help your plague infect a few more people. When you've finished exploring your disease screen, click X or press Q to return to the map. And devolve. 70. 103, 106. Use the up, down, left, right keys or WASD to navigate around the map while zoomed. Okay, so we can move like that as well. It's faster than clicking and dragging. When you're zoomed in, you scroll down or drag the slider down to zoom back out again. Okay, so this is the world view. 28 points. Livestock 2, 13 points. For drinking water, evolve water. Evolve air. 342 infected. You can see any recent news events here. Click here or press R to read more. Expect some major Brexit supporters flee UK to avoid a Brexit. Tax 1 begins in China. Okay. Make sure you keep an eye on the news so you know what's going on in the world and can react accordingly. Click here to press R again or close the window. 459, 649, 700, 1,000, 1,300, 1,500. Largest ever paella made. Oh man, I've got the disease. It's gonna end the world and nobody cares. Your disease has infected another country. PAX 1 is really starting to spread. Sweet. Pop the red bubble to get more DNA points. Okay, so boats and travel stuff. Let's look a bit closer at the country your disease just infected. Click here to select the right country. Click here. Clicking here. Okay, now it's paused. Paused. I'm not on a touch screen. I can't click there. I have to click with my mouse. It does not click. Did we crash again? No. So some UI elements still interact, but I'll click there. Okay, when they said click here, I didn't see where the here was. What a noob! The country screen shows how individual countries are responding to a disease. That's for Russia, 160 healthy people, 160 million healthy. This shows if the country's borders are open or not. If a country has shut its borders, your disease will struggle to get in. Here are actions that the government is carrying out to try and prevent your disease from spreading. Here you can see how much money the country is spending to research a cure for your disease. Here you can learn some more about the country. And when you've finished exploring the country screen, click X to return to the map screen. Country typically has a cold, humid climate. Founded in the 12th century, the Principality of Muscovy was able to emerge from over 200 years of Mongol domination and to gradually conquer the surrounding principalities. In the early 17th century, a new Romanov dynasty continued its policy of expansion. A repeated devastating defeat of the Russian army in World War I led to the overthrow in 1917 of the imperial household of communists under Vladimir Lenin seized power soon after and formed the USSR. The brutal rule of Joseph Stalin strengthened the communist rule and Russian dominance of the Soviet Union at the cost of tens of millions of lives. The Soviet economy and society stagnated in the following decades until General Secretary Mikhail Gorbachev introduced glasnost openness and perestroika restructuring. But these initiatives inadvertently released forces that helped end the USSR. Since then, Russia has shifted to its post-Soviet democratic ambitions. The cold, humid, rural. Okay, medical research cure. I'm not doing healthy population infected. Graph screen, Russia. Government distributing hand soap. So easy to treat my disease. Ooh. Russia infected. 14,000 in China. Let's see. Do more. Ooh. Insect one. Insects are susceptible to infection. Carrier insects increase infectivity, especially in hot climates, chance of mutation. Wildlife susceptible to infection, rural regions and mutation. Okay. Russia's got 2 infected. Speed it up a bit. Whoa! China is now charging 6 infected in Russia. 68. Oh, new country. Oh, Southeast Asia. What new country? Yeah, just called Southeast Asia. Business as usual. Infected 18. Government distributing hand soap. Japan. Indonesia. Philippines. So you can wipe out all the countries if you want to. Beijing. In China, nearly 750,000 and they're just distributing hand soap. Russia's only 13. Let's check if humans are trying to cure your disease yet. Click here or press E to open the world menu. The world menu shows how your disease is doing on a global level and tracks any human cure research. Here you can see how many people are healthy, infected or dead worldwide. Use these categories to toggle these toggles to filter categories of countries on the minimap. For example, if you want to see any hot or rich countries that you haven't infected. Here you can see countries listed, but by if they are healthy, excuse me, Hover over each country's name for more details. If the cure reaches 100%, then your disease will be cured and you will lose the game. Okay. When you've finished exploring the world screen, click X or press E to exit back to the map screen. Okay. Healthy, infected less than 1%, China less than 0.1%. Which is why they don't care yet. No. Research 0. Cold country. So we might want to go after the cold countries. The rural countries. Urban countries. America, Australia and Western Europe. Rural. Yeah. Interesting. Infected. We've covered the basics and your disease is now ready to go global. To win, you must infect and kill the entire world without being cured. Good luck. Okay, so this is still the tutorial mission. Let's see if we can do a few evolutions. Water. Pathogen can survive outside the body in fresh, warm water, increase infectivity, especially in humid environments and ship transmissions. Now about abilities. Create a bacterial shell to protect against all climates. Cold temperatures and climate. Pathogen evolves to withstand hot temperatures and climate. Resistance to biotics. Okay. So we've done transmissions. We evolve coughing. Chance of infection by spreading pathogen into surroundings, especially in high density urban areas. Skin becomes blistered and painful, slightly increases infectivity. Hypoxia of organs, painful lumps. Inability to sleep makes people irritable and less productive. A slight chance of infection and kissing. Not really in urban areas. Serious fluid build and discharge from the lungs. People in cold climates especially vulnerable. Or fluid discharge through sneezing greatly increases infection. And this one. Okay, so we've got 12 points. Potentially fatal heart abnormality causes breakdown of respiratory system, releasing a pathogen into the air. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can start getting some stats. PAX1 has mutated and developed the immune suppression symptom without using DNA points. Okay. Slow speed. Okay, now it's spreading. CDC finds frequent pork's not cool, says Ewok. Disrespectful funeral goer forgot to press it. 3 seconds. Fecal fecal contamination in pools. Okay, the CDC did that. India, Kazakhstan, Russia 316. Are they doing anything? Distributing soap? It looked like they're researching anything. Business as usual. World. No research priority. China, percentage infected 3.2%. Evolve. What's this one? Gives organism ability spread through blood to blood contact, increases infectivity, especially in poor regions, and mutation chance. For 11 points. especially in hot climates, chance of mutation. Ooh, look at this. I think this means this is now infected as well. No. Oh, not... I can't look at that, but looks like my boats and planes are spreading it as well. Whoa, China is getting crazy infected. Dead 275,000. The rate of it, 20%. It is healthy. It's got a 0.1% lethality rate. Might need to evolve some danger. New worrying disease spreading. A diagnostic team in China has identified a new disease which has been named PAX1. It is quite severe and must be investigated further. Other countries are also reporting this disease. Like what? 400 million people infected, 600,000 dead. And they're like, oh, there's something going on. Ooh, hello. Yeah. Let's go to the west as well. Can't escape the global world. Okay, let's see if we can evolve for affected bodily fluids able to pass through mucous membranes increases infectivity, especially in poor regions and mutation charts. Carrier insects or climate chance of mutation. Evolved diarrhea. Pathogen active in digestive tract causing infection through feces and potentially lethal dehydration. Poor countries versus very vulnerable. So poor countries very vulnerable. There's a slight increase in infectivity. Hypoxia in organs. Immune system produces inhibitors that destroy factor 8, preventing blood clotting. Infectivity increased. Scarring of the lungs causes shortness of breath and extreme coughing can be fatal when combined with intense exercise. Yeah, stop exercising. Okay. Ability. I think you might need to start doing resistance cures. The first death from PAX1 has been confirmed after 932,000 people have already died. Bad luck or the beginning of something terrible. Whoa. China, 2 million dead. And the news only reported the first one. Ooh, we've got some people in Mexico as well. Central America, 19. Russia is fairly alright. Central Asia, Afghanistan. The borders closed. 20 days. Okay, let's evolve some resistance. Increase effectiveness in wealthy countries. Pathogen becomes harder to analyze, decreases future research spend. Yeah. Preemptively attacking the vulnerabilities of wealthy countries. Korea starts working on cure. Korea is first to instruct doctors to begin research into a cure for PAX1 without greater funding. It's expected to take a long time. Okay, let's look at Korea's. Where's the Korea's? Korea's is there. Whoa, 74 million infected. Everyone in the country. The Korea, everyone's infected. 173,000. Research funding 1. National priority level 3 out of 6. Okay, medical research, they've spent $700 on the research. What can we do about this? infected versus healthy. This is world population. Infected versus healthy. Okay. So if they get to, I assume, the end, they'll get a cure for my disease. Whoa. 9 million, 1.4 billion infected. Everyone infected. Nationwide blood test conducted, central corpse disposal. Not 10 million. Research ranking. They spent the most on the disease. Let's see if we can evolve some resistance of kill the researchers. In all climates, hot temperatures and climates. Ooh. Does not reproduce in lab conditions, decreases future research spend. Yeah. Sorry, it's unresearchable. Stop research. It does not work in research conditions. Whoa, okay, Central Asia is 50% infected. Afghanistan 28 million, at 90% infected. Korea shuts down land borders. Korea has become the first country to try to limit the spread of PAX1 by limiting access into and out of the country. Time will tell if this will work. Korea, which is 100% infected, is shutting its land borders versus China, which is also 100% infected. Ooh, these two are now nearly 100% infected as well. PAX1 has mutated and developed the vomiting symptom without using DNA. Awesome. Awesome. Which one is this? Turkey, 100% infected. Come on, Australia. Let's get these rich countries think they are immune. 0 infected in the USA, 77 in Mexico, 12,000 in Central America. So I'm just liberally pausing so I can get those DNA points. Let's see. Detect against all climates. Yes, please. What else can we do? Survive suspended in air for a long time, increases infectivity, especially in arid environments, and plane transmission. Spread via planes. Spread via planes. Yeah. Kazakhstan. 24 million people are dead. Whoa, okay, now Russia is actually starting to get serious infection. So we want I think we're right for symptoms for now. Do we want to evolve that heat resistance? Pathogen develops resistance to class 3 and class 4 antibiotics, increase effectiveness in wealthy countries for 29 DNA points. Hold off till we've got 29. New cleaning techniques are now being used to stop ships transmitting any disease between countries. Only advanced waterborne disease can survive on them. Okay, let's do the rich countries one. Which was this one. Also, we need to check who's spending on the research. PAX1 is spreading fast. 33% of the world population is